Disney has taken away some incredibly popular things over the years, including a few you may have completely forgotten about. From free perks to fan favorite experiences, even things that has changed the way that you do Disney, all gone.
Yeah, so today we're looking at 8 things that Disney took away that people loved and whether or not they could ever come back.
Okay, so let's get right into our list today. The first thing that we are going to talk about is the old FastPass system.
Yeah, so when Disney first introduced the FastPass, which is the skip your line system that Disney originally used, it was free. And you would get a paper ticket. You would go to the kiosk that was out in front of the ride for the rides that you wanted to experience without waiting in line. You get a return time, take your paper ticket when it was time for you to come back and ride the ride. And that went away quite a while ago. And then they brought on the mobile FastPass Plus system where you scheduled your rides, but it was all still free. Now we have the Lightning Lane system, and not only is it not free anymore, it's a complicated system to figure out. So they have you can book the Lightning, you have to purchase it first, then you can book the experiences. I think it's 7 days, for 7 days, but up to 14 days.
It's complicated. It's 7 days. You can book it from 7 days out from your start of your vacation.
Yes.
And then
up to 14 days.
And then you have a 14-day window of the start of your vacation.
Yeah. So that's complicated.
Yep.
But then you have the Premier Pass, which is where it's all inclusive of all Lightning Lane rides, and you don't have a specific time. You can just show up. But you have to pick the park you're going to be at. You can't use it to hop around to different parks. And that's the most expensive option. And then you have the multi-pass where you get to have 3 reservations for a ride at a time. But of course, you have to return at a specific time. And it excludes the most popular rides at each park. So there's 1 or 2 excluded at each park. You can use it to hop around. That's the one advantage I see of it. But if you want to ride those most popular rides like Tron or Guardians of the Galaxy, then you have to pay an additional charge for the individual Lightning Lane, which is the other level of that. So no longer free, very complicated. So I kind of miss FastPass. I miss it for sure.
Oh, I miss it so much, but I don't think this one is ever coming back. Sadly, you mentioned that it was expensive, and it is pretty expensive, and that's probably the reason it's never coming back. Now, the one thing that could change is Disney could adopt a system like Universal does, where if you stay in the deluxe resorts, you get some version of the Lightning Lane included with your stay at a deluxe resort. The other thing that we could hope for is that they at least simplify the system a little bit and make it less complicated. As far as going back to the free FastPass, I think that really is one of those good old days things that is gone, though.
I think so. And I can't fault them because pretty much every theme park you go to has a version of that, and it's all paid for version, so all expensive. So I can see why they're doing it, but I would agree.
Yep. All right, moving on to the next item on our list that is gone, and that is the Magical Express transportation.
Yeah, so I miss this because it was the free transportation that you could get if you were flying in for your Disney trip to MCO. You could arrange for them to pick you up on a really cool bus, which we have a little replica of still, which makes me miss it even more. They would pick you up you get off your plane, you go to they had different lanes for different resorts. You get on the bus, there's videos getting you all excited about your upcoming trip. Everybody on the buses are excited because their vacation is beginning. Then they'll pick you up from your resort when you go back to the airport after your trip, and everybody's sad on the bus. But it's all just a fun shared experience, a great way to start your vacation that was included with your package or your room reservation. And now, of course, that went away. It's no longer offered.
Yeah, your Disney vacation really began at the airport rather than getting dropped off at your resort or whatever, and that was a lot of fun and exciting. They handled your luggage, things like that. People really loved it. I think a lot of people missed this one. I also, though, think this one is gone. I think that in its old form that people loved, Disney has viewed it as too much of an expense, I guess, for them to keep offering to people for free. I guess the one thing that we could hope for here is that maybe Disney themselves could offer a paid a paid version of the Magical Express again, where at least you're paying, but then you have the option of taking the Disney transportation if you want that excitement and convenience, rather than taking Mears or taking a Lyft or Uber.
Yeah.
So that's what we can hope for, I think, with that one.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right, let's move on now to the next item on our list, and that is resort quick service hours.
Yeah, so if you stay at Disney resorts, you've probably noticed that the quick service locations, even the gift shops, don't really stay open much longer than the parks, if at all. So like when Magic Kingdom closes at 11, a lot of times those quick service restaurants and the gift shops close at latest 11.
Yep.
A lot of times even 10.
I think it's 11. To be fair, I think most of the time it is 11
I
now.
feel like I've seen it be 10.
Yeah.
The bar quick service or food options close a little bit earlier. Mm-hmm. So you're really limited on food. If you're at the parks having a good time, let's say you had an early dinner or you were riding so much you kind of didn't really eat a full dinner, you really don't have an option once you get back to the resort other than like ordering pizza or DoorDash or something like that. You have nothing to choose from. So that has, extended hours for people. I remember, and I can't remember exact hours of what they used to be, but I do remember staying at the parks until close, coming back to the resort and getting food after the parks closed.
I can remember.
Yeah.
And it was pretty standard for the resort quick service places to stay open until midnight. And then there was, I know one, if not more than one, there might have been a second one at least, but I know Gasparilla was open 24 hours.
At Grand Floridian.
Yeah, at Grand Floridian for a while. But most of them at least stayed open to midnight. And that extra hour does make a big difference if you're staying into the park till 10 o'clock or 10:30, something like that, and you do want to have that option. So that hour makes a big difference. By the way, they've also cut back on the morning hours. So it was
true.
routine that these places would be open at 6 a.m. or 6:30, and now most of them, I believe, open at 7.
Yeah, so that kind of gives you kind of are forced, if you're going to rope drop a park, especially if they have early hours for resort guests, you kind of have to eat at the park have a snack in your room.
So they've cut back hours on both ends of it. I think this was a change from COVID. Like we have seen, probably a lot of people watching this have seen those changes since COVID on business hours cutting back from what it used to be.
Pretty much everywhere.
And this is one example where Disney has done it, but it makes a big difference here at the night especially. So as far as it could ever go back to, I mean, there's hope on this one.
I think there's at least hope.
I think there's hope on this one, especially if enough people kind of complain about it.
We're not telling you to complain.
Right. But, I mean, I know I've seen people in Reddit threads and things like that online talk about this very thing, that they stay to a park until close and they come back to their resort and there's nothing open for them to get to eat. And so that is an issue that has a lot of people have noticed that one. So maybe Disney will reconsider that.
Fingers crossed.
I mean, one more hour, midnight instead of 11, would still make a huge difference. So,
yeah.
All right. Thank you for watching, and if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. We would love to have you join the Travel Soul community. Now back to the video. Let's move on to the next one on our list here, which is free MagicBands.
Yeah, so I feel like it's been forever ago now, but it wasn't that long ago when you would plan a Disney vacation, you were able to order a MagicBand with your package or with your room reservation. You could pick your color, they gave you color options, and then they would mail it to your house ahead of your trip. And I thought that was a lot of fun because that felt like, okay, my trip's getting close, I'm excited, look, our MagicBands are here, they had your name on the underside of them. And it was just fun. It made the whole experience more exciting, and then you anticipated it more, and then they took it away. And now you have the Magic Band Plus is all you can get. And we felt like the old style Magic Bands, even the ones you had to pay for that had the designs, were more comfortable than the Magic Band Plus.
Yep.
Now to get those options, well, you have to get Magic Band Plus, and to use like the technology that goes with them, you have to keep them charged all the time. So it just becomes kind of a pain, really.
Yeah, it is. It's an odd thing, and if you didn't get them mailed to your house, you could also just pick them up at the.
That's true. Sometimes you had to get gray if you did.
Sometimes you had to get gray, but you could still pick it up at the resort front desk when you were checking in. And it is kind of an odd thing. Disney, I know it was a massive project to implement these Magic Bands, a huge, very expensive project. And then they're basically telling everybody, we want you to use these. This is how you're going to access everything and navigate your vacation. And then now it's like, we have these other expensive ones you can buy if you want.
And they really want you to use the app now. That's what it feels like. They want you to lean on the app. And coming from two people who have IT backgrounds, the app needs to work a little better. Like, they've made some improvements, but I feel like there's still a lot of improvements that could be made if they want people to rely on that most of the time.
But so this one is another one that unfortunately I don't see coming back, because they've made a very deliberate movement away from the Magic Band being the way for you to unlock your door and for you to access everything.
Scan into the park. Scan into Lightning Lane. Yeah.
And they have really deliberately moved away from it. So don't think this one is coming back. And that was fun while it lasted.
It was.
So, all right, let's move on to the next thing on our list, which is the building of DVC resorts, and Krista can explain what we mean.
Yeah, so it's been a very long time since Disney has built a resort that was not a DVC resort. So I think the last one was Art of Animation, and I get confused sometimes between 2010 and 2012 as to when it opened. I think it was 2012. Either way, it's been a very long time. And now everything that's been built since, things that are current projects, all DVC. And even when they redid the cabins at Fort Wilderness, they made them DVC. So every change with resorts seems to be DVC, change to sell more DVC. And I miss the old very themed, not just a building, let's build up so we can fit as many rooms as we can into this one small space. I don't care if it fits in with the design of the resort. We're just going to build it this way because it's what you can hold the most people and sell the most DVC. So even though we love the Island Tower at Polynesian, I may not have made that decision to build it especially in the style they built it, if I were on the decision board, which I'm not, but that's how I feel about it.
Yeah, I do too. I miss the Art of Animations and the Pop Centuries and Caribbean beaches and that style of resort at Disney, very themed. And Disney, it seemed like, during the 80s and 90s as Disney was building resorts, it felt like that they were more concerned with the resort than they were maximizing space and maximizing efficiency.
Yeah, they wanted guests to have like a fully immersed resort experience. And that's what made it special.
Yes.
And now that feels like it's gone. That aspect of the planning is just gone.
Yep, I agree. As for whether or not we could see a return to the former style, I don't think that we're going to see a return back to what it was that I think most fans loved from the, say, pre-DVC expansion. But I think what we could see is a more combination. So whether or not, like here lately, you've had the Riviera and you've had the Polynesian Tower. Now they're building.
And they're all deluxe, too. So if you don't buy DVC and you want to stay at one of the newer resorts, you're having to stay deluxe level.
Yep, that's true. And the new one that they're building,
Lakeshore Lodge
at Fort Wilderness, same thing. So I do think that that's probably can only go so far. Like
before they've ran out of people who want to buy DVC.
Yeah, and more deluxe properties. So what I could see happening is at least maybe a move toward more of a hybrid thing, where they do build another resort in the near future that is more themed like the older ones are, Maybe it still has a DVC wing to it, but it's just incorporated into the style and theme of the whole resort. I think that we could see that in the near future, and especially maybe like another moderate tier.
I think that'd be great. It's been a very long time since a moderate tier was built. So
Yep.
I think it's time.
I do too. So hopefully, I think there's some hope for this one that they may not build like another like Caribbean beach style resort.
Yeah.
That's that spread out and stuff. But I think we could see at least them get away from this tower style architecture.
Yeah, even the last moderate that they did was really like Grandestino Tower, which was a tower.
Yes. Yeah.
So
All right.
Moving on.
Let's move on to the next one, which is bus transportation from the parks to Disney Springs.
Yeah, so I thought it might have been like a fever dream, but I looked it up, and it was true. Between 2016 and then COVID, when the parks closed for COVID, they did have buses that were offered from the parks after 4 p.m. to Disney Springs. I think that is a great thing for them to do, because a lot of people, especially like us, we don't always love to eat in the parks, and we might want to spend some time in the parks during the day, and at night go over to Disney Springs, do some shopping, have some experiences down there, and eat down there. So it's a lot easier to just jump on a bus from the park instead of having to go back to our resort and then get on a bus. Or sometimes we'll go to like Saratoga Springs, get off and walk over there, but it's still a lot easier to just take the bus directly there. So yeah, I missed that one.
Yeah, I do too. There's a lot of times that we're in that situation, and we're thinking, where are we going to have dinner? And nothing in the park. It's really sounding great. We want to go to Disney Springs maybe, and it's just, okay, how do we get there, and is it worth it for us? This one I could see coming back. I think this one's one of the bigger mysteries of why it didn't come back. Mm-hmm. It just didn't come back after COVID.
It's probably just because of like staffing and running that many buses.
Sure. But, Disney is not at a total loss if they do this, because if you give people that option to go down to Disney Springs, then most likely they're going to go down to Disney Springs and they're going to spend some money.
Yeah, exactly.
They might do some shopping, have dinner. So I don't think that this is a total loss for Disney, which is why they probably started offering it in the first place. Mm-hmm. So this one I think has a chance to come back. Like, come on, Disney. Maybe you forgot that you were doing that before COVID. Let's.
This is your reminder.
Yeah. If anyone from Disney sees this video, remember that before COVID, you gave people an easier way to get to Disney Springs. So maybe that one can come back.
Do you love planning travel? Why not make commission on it too? Blue Horse Travel is looking for independent travel agents. Whether you want to book travel for others or simply earn commission on your own eligible trips, there are no monthly fees. You can work on your own schedule, and there are no sales quotas or minimum booking requirements. If you love Disney, Universal, cruising, or travel in general, check out Blue Horse Travel at the link below to learn more about joining our team.
All right. Moving on to, I believe, item number 7.
It is.
Item number 7 of 8 here, and that is the Jedi Training Academy.
Yeah, so this one kind of hits me right in the heart because I've raised 3 boys, and they used to have this experience, which if you had young children, you probably experienced it with your kids, but between ages 4 and 12, they had the opportunity to get on stage and spar against Darth Vader. I think Darth Maul made an appearance when my boys did it. And it was just a fun thing to experience. It was such a big thing for kids to do and so cool. And really, other than the actors that they hired to do that, it wasn't anything that really cost Disney money. I think it went away around the time, COVID kind of shut it down. Then they did the expansion with the Galaxy's Edge. There's even a stage there where it looks like they could bring it back, but they still haven't. Now, my kids have aged out of it, but it was just such an experience with them that I hate that the younger generations are missing out on this. and I wish they'd bring it back.
Yep. And this one, again, I don't know if Disney has heard this from a lot of people or not, but this one, again, seems like one that could come back because like you said, it wouldn't be some huge expense for Disney to bring back, but it would definitely, I'm sure, be popular again and make a lot of people very happy. So this one is another one that I think at least has a chance.
Yeah, and I would make the plea too because they have a lot of princess-centered experiences, and that doesn't appeal to as many boys. It didn't really appeal to mine.
Right.
And there's not a lot. They love Disney, but there's not a lot of experiences that kids that are more into Star Wars and things like that can do. So
yep.
I'd love if they bring that back.
Hopefully they will. That one has a chance. Okay, the last item on our list today, number 8. This one I saved the best for last for me. This one irks me the most. It's the one that I get most upset about with Disney and how they've kind of changed since COVID. And that is the park hours, particularly at the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, so they used to offer much longer park hours, especially at Magic Kingdom. I don't know that Epcot has ever been much past 9 or 10 p.m. Now it seems to always be 9 p.m. Animal Kingdom is always kind of closed early. I think Hollywood sometimes had 10 or 11 p.m. hours. Now it's almost always 9 p.m. But specifically Magic Kingdom sometimes would be open until the wee hours of the morning. We're night owls. Our kids are night owls. I think there's other night owls out there that liked maybe missing the heat of the day, go back to your resort, enjoy some time there or at Disney Springs, and then go back into the park and get some rides done. Not all of us are rope droppers.
Yeah, that's true. And I can remember multiple times being in the Magic Kingdom, and it would be like scheduled to close at midnight, and then they would just announce, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night, they would just announce, actually it's going to stay open until 1 a.m. And that was, something that they did on a regular basis. They would regularly have 2 a.m. hours, sometimes even 3 a.m.
I remember some 3 a.m.s during summer trips.
Yeah. And you know what? As for just the guest experience, going there, that's a huge difference. I mean, you're going to crowd control better if you do that. You're going to have more people that are willing to miss part of the afternoon. Because they can come back in later at night and get a lot of rides in and stuff. Well, now you're charging for Lightning Lane, right?
Yeah.
So you have no more free FastPass like you used to have. You're charging for Lightning Lane. So probably the lines for people are even longer, right?
Yeah.
Than
the standby lines.
The standby lines are even longer. Mm-hmm. Well, when you were open later, a lot of people could just catch that ride later at night.
And not have a really long standby line.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, now you're charging people Lightning Lane, but you've also taken away the late hours when the crowds could thin out a little bit, right? So, I mean, these couple of changes have definitely made the experience worse.
Yeah. And they do offer like 1 day a week. At a lot of the year, they offer extended hours at Magic Kingdom for deluxe guests only. Yep. And we've done that, and you can get a lot of rides in there. You can't at Epcot. We've not had great experience with that when we've done those extended hours, but it's just for deluxe guests. And what we speak of, the late hours were for all guests.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't even know if it was limited to resort guests. It may have been, but still it encompassed a lot more than just deluxe guests.
Yeah, I think that our list shows, and this was just, 8 things that we came up with today, but I think that our list shows that especially since COVID, Disney has taken away a lot of things from your Disney vacation that used to just be part of your Disney vacation, things that were just included. And I think that we're hopeful, and the point is that it's time to bring a few of them back.
I would say so. And I think that I feel like maybe they're starting to lean back into the guest experience a little more. And I hope that continues, that we see a positive change. Yep. I also want to make a case for bringing back Baymax Meet and Greet to Epcot. We loved that. Again, my kids loved Big Hero 6. It was fun. I know they have him on the Disney Adventure. They might have him at California Adventure. Bring him back to Epcot. He fits in there.
There you go. Bonus a bonus item.
That's right. So if you agreed with our list, or if you have something to add to it, what did we forget that you miss? Please comment. We would love to hear from you, and we thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.